Hello everyone, welcome in Impromptu Live. Hello, I am Courtney Kaiser. I have been meaning to come on and do a live. I don't often do Instagram lives, so I'm trying to get on here a little bit more and do that. Sharing a little bit more of myself, and this retreat is something that I've really wanted to talk about and get on here and share with you guys, but I have been very intently working on my retreat book. So I'm not like writing a book, but there's a workbook I'm putting together for the retreat. And in doing all of that, because I'm very detail oriented, I like people to have all the information, to know everything and not be like, oh, what is this? What's that? I like people to just have everything with them, okay? And be able to return back to things, because I think that's part of the value that I'm putting into this retreat. It truly is a compilation of all of my wisdom, of what I believe, the skills and wisdom, the teachings that make up an Earth Priestess, okay? And so, like, this is an Earth Priestess mystery school, even though it's set into 4 separate retreats. And yes, you can go to any of the retreats. You don't have to go to all of them, or like just the first one and all of them, right? If you complete all 4 of them, you get a certification as a Earth Priestess. Anybody who goes to the 4th one gets initiated, as everybody else does, through the shamanic journey and initiation that the Earth Mother gave me several months back. That's super incredible, and I'm so excited about all the plans that I have, but that's not here or there right now. So back to this retreat. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about why this retreat is different, because, I say a lot of things on there. There's no way of really knowing, like, what are we doing? What does she mean by Earth Priestess? What does she mean by psychic development, right? And all of the guidance, the wisdom I have received in creating this retreat, and what we will be learning, what I'm teaching, have all been things that I have learned, whether it's been through my own priestess schooling. That was a year-long priestess school, and all of the wisdom I accrued from that and skill, but also the witch schools that I have been to, the retreats, the certifications I've had, the therapeutic certifications and trainings, and all of the encompassing things that I have done in my life and on my own personal spiritual and magical journey. I compiled all of that information into what I believe truly, what I believe truly helps someone access these metaphysical, extrasensory abilities and senses within themselves, okay? And because I know people are like, oh, but I love the trees and I just want to connect with the trees. This is not a retreat where you go and you expect to, like, just be meditating all the time and, like, relaxing, and, like, we're not doing that. Like, I am not wasting anybody's time or energy. I'm on a mission, okay? I'm on a mission to help people learn the skills to tap into their abilities. So every day you'll be learning new priestess wisdom, whether it be about various goddesses, magic, ritual, various magical properties, correspondences, things like that, to help you along your path. But you're also going to be learning about how to open up your clair abilities, right? I created this program because I've been to so many other things that I'm like, No other program, retreat, school has the kind of stuff that I wanted to learn to have the skills that I have now. And I hope people even surpass me, right? Like what I will be teaching you, without a shadow of a doubt, you will be able, if you practice, you will be able to communicate with spirit, communicate with the trees, communicate with animals, Mother Earth, anything. Because people are like, oh, I want to hear the trees, I want to, all this stuff. I'm like, okay. If you know what that really means, you can do that. But these are muscles that we have not all practiced, strengthened, right? So I have it set up to where you'll be learning like about clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairgustance, clairalliance, psychometry, telepathy, intuition, all of these skills that I will be teaching you, you will have time to practice. Like, I will be giving you so many exercises that you'll be breaking off into pairs and practicing. You'll be doing them alone. You'll have solo time. You can do whatever you want with these practices, and you'll have even more to take home with you to do with other people, your partner, whoever, to practice solo. Because if you practice the exercises and skills that I'm giving you, you will, without a shadow of a doubt, 100%, you could be an evidential medium by the end of this if you want. But I know for a lot of you, being a medium is not the goal. You want to connect with the trees, but guess what? To connect with the trees, you have to do various things to raise your frequency, raise your vibration in order to connect with their intelligence, with their vibration that is at a higher frequency than what we as human beings are naturally vibrating at, especially with all of this stuff that we have been programmed with and are putting in our bodies, what we're wearing, all of that, right? So sorry about the dog barking. There's people. I'm at a park right now. I was mid work booking and wanted to step on here because I'm like, wow, I just, what I'm doing is creating something that is so incredible that I just, like, I can't even imagine if, you know, if there's a group of people that transitions all the way to the fourth one, like what you guys are able to do by that fourth retreat, practicing and coming back and each time more and more proficient at each skill. I'm so pumped. So that's something that I know is different because I've never been associated with a priestess or witch workshop, school, retreat, anything that spent time focusing and teaching you how to train your mind focus, how to train your brain for telepathy, for psychometry, for hearing the trees, really hearing them, right? So not only is, like, to me, the priestess path and this school that I'm creating, it's kind of like a modern day witch priestess. Because to me, priestesses are essentially channelers, right? Who are deeply rooted and connected with the earth, but also are these divine channels directly connected to divine frequency, right? To provide healing, wisdom, magic, whatever it is. And then witches, it's much more ritualistic, and there's a desire there, right? They're the diviners and creators of their reality. And so we combine those things, those schools of thought, right? So not only are we learning how to live in connection with the earth and reconnect with the earth energies and becoming a more receptive transmitter to transmit higher frequency, divine frequency and information through our heightened extrasensory processes, or ESP, our senses, right, that we have strengthened. But you're also learning about like Samhain, right? We're meeting on Samhain, which I think is so epic at the beginning of the retreat because, I mean, we get to start with rage release, sacred rage release, and I'm gonna teach you about non-linguistic programming. If you have any kind of concerns or worries about sacred rage release and, oh, my nervous system or trauma, it's like, yes, all these things keep in mind, but I know how sacred this act is and how powerful it is in alchemizing and transforming and what it can bring up. And that's where my trauma-informed experience and skill comes in hand as a former therapist. And I specialized in trauma-informed care and people who are considered to be highly sensitive. So it's something that I take with extra care, that try to be super mindful about in setting up the release itself in an ethical and careful way for everyone's nervous systems, no matter, what kind of background or trauma they've been through, to be a safe support for everyone involved. And so you guys are going to learn about various kinds of breath work and body movements, somatic experiencing, ways of grounding your nervous system that are imperative just in life and in this work. And as you become a more heightened channel for divine communication, how to also incorporate this magic into your life, how to not only live a priestess path, but also deepen your magic, which helps you feel more connected to all that is and to the earth, right? I'm helping you guys access the memory of having these metaphysical powers and gifts that we are going to be strengthening and really honing in on. You'll also be doing fire ritual. As I said, meeting with certain goddesses. You will learn how to read auras, energies, because all these subtle energies that we're talking about, that's the trees. That's how they speak at a frequency that is so much higher than ours. And it's also very subtle how our human nervous systems on the 3D pick up this information. Everything is subtle. That's how millions of people walk by trees and don't know they're talking to them, right? They don't even sense that they're feeling something from the tree, or sense that they're feeling that tree is a man. It has male energy, right? It's like all of these subtle ways of communication that are constantly being given to us, but it's really learning to attune to that. So within this, it's almost too natural to dive into, symbology, and because not all trees speak in words. Sometimes it's symbols and spirit as well. Pretty much anything, animals, they'll show you images, or you'll hear something or know something. And so that's why strengthening your clair abilities, your ESP, is so important, so that you can pick up these subtle bits of energy, of communication. We'll go deep into symbology, symbolism, forming your own language and dictionary, so to speak, of symbology, and teach you how to connect with your spirit guides, how to create a system of communication that works most efficiently for your skills and abilities, not just for spirit, right? Yeah. And trying to think of what else. You'll learn about frequency, color, crystals, vibration, and of course, it's me. We're going to do shadow work. And within the priestess path, within the witch's path, shadow work is just there, right? And it's even more imperative than ever because we're dismantling the patriarchy. We're dismantling the lies that told us that we can't do what we know and remember we can do. And especially right now where everything seems so crazy and all the lies are, becoming public. And we're really being tested to discern what is true, what is true to us, but what matters, what is sacred, how to protect what is sacred, the voiceless, right? Yeah. How to really live this priestess path, what that even means, what that entails. And that's where I don't want to give too much away because it's a very sacred mission of once we're able to connect in with the earth, to read and communicate, to feel, to hear, to see, whatever it is that our abilities are, what the earth is saying, and then having the skills to be able to do whatever we know is needed to be done to help the earth take her power back, reclaim her sovereignty. Things are waking up, things are shifting, things are not going to be the same, and those that feel called to step into this higher frequency, this higher knowing, this higher sense of doing something on an energetic and spiritual level, this retreat is for you. And I know some of you may be asking, like, how are you able to teach all of these, mediumship? I'm teaching people basically how to be evidential mediums, okay, like without a shadow of a doubt. How I'm able to do that if I don't claim that, right? Mediumship was never something that was the forefront of my work, what I wanted to hone in on services, and it comes up in sessions often. I communicate through spirit, or spirit communicates through me a lot in session. I'm informed in life constantly by spirit. I'm so deeply connected, but that's not an area I wanted to focus on in my work. I'm intuitively and spiritually guided all the time. But when you have a title like that, then you become a show pony in some situations, show pony. And then everybody just wants that. And that's not what I wanted to focus on. That was just like a little perk, right? Of like, I also have this, right? But it's just a product of what I felt called to do, what I've always had, as I've always been connected to spirit since I was little, and what I've chosen to follow. And everything always led me back to strengthening my clair abilities. And I am grateful and lucky enough to have been guided by mentors in my life who have given me invaluable information and skills that I am so grateful to be able to share with you. And although I'm like, I learned from them, it's also like I remembered, right? It was like, oh yeah, duh, I knew this. I knew that was possible. I knew we could always do this. It's always been a remembering. And those of you that come to the retreat, you'll hear more about my story of how this all came into being, why the Redwoods, why this Earth Priestess mission. It's a really wild story. Maybe I'll make a live about it at some point, but right now it just feels more imperative than ever that we listen to this call, if this is your call, to deepen your practice, your wisdom, your magic, your connection. If you're wanting to hear, experience, and feel deeper in a way that you've probably never felt, and tapping into a wellspring of ancient power that you may feel has always been there, but you've never been able to even dream of touching. I would love to see you and see what transpires, what flourishes and blooms within you. And again, if you want to join the whole journey, it's going to be incredible and miraculous to see what takes place and shape. But if not, I hope to see you at one of my retreats. Each one will have a different theme in which you will discover over time, and then I hope to have these every single year. So if you didn't get to join this round, that's okay. There will be future opportunities. And yeah, there's something else I was going to say, but it has left my brain, so I think that means it's time to go. I am going to be hopping on many times over the next few weeks to share more about various areas of the retreat and why it is going to be so incredibly transforming and life changing. I can't wait. And it's getting dark, so I hope to share space and magic, wisdom with all of you soon. And if you feel called to join the Ancient Awakening Redwood Retreat in Humboldt County, it's a very paranormal place filled with magic, and I'll share more about that later too. There's a reason why this place and why our magic is so needed and important there. Until next time, guys, take care.